Say, has anything changed about your job as a reporter, maybe since like you first started off doing it?
Yes. Okay, so just like you have your camera and everything, it's called MSJing. Fortunate enough, I went to Clarion University, and I knew that eventually one day there's going to be no such thing as a photographer. Everyone here at Channel 3 is considered an MSJ. Everyone should be able to go take a camera out, edit their own story. That's what you have to do. When I first started off in this, I always had a photographer, no matter what. Now I have my own camera, my own laptop. You know, I used to work out of the Akron area from home. And then we worked in the Akron-Canton Regional Mobile Newsroom, which was like a roving newsroom. We worked out of a truck, you know, that like the live truck, but it was our office, but we were all over the place. So when I first started off, it was just coming in, out with the photographer. Now it's, you could possibly go out by yourself, but anytime there's breaking news, you're always having someone. Depending on, you know, the certain situation, you have to make sure, you know, your news director and everyone knows and everyone is going to the right place, but everyone has to do everything now.
You do your research before you go into the interview. Do you often like plan like a certain like purpose for the interview, but then once you listen and find out?
Yes. So recently I just did a story on this Akron dance team. They're called Born to Dance. So I'm thinking going into this story, you know, these girls are dancers, they're great dancers. You know, some of the girls, you know, come from, of course, broken homes and things like that. But never did I once think that this woman, she was actually homeless. That's why she created the program. That's how she connects to the girls. But I never knew that. You know, that's not on the website. That's not, you know, that was just some personal information that she shared with me in an interview. So the interview did a whole, you know, 360. So it pretty much just turned around and it came into a whole nother story. So I was shocked. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, so off to the side my questions go. So now I'm, you know, going down this road. And then once the interview's over, I always make sure I ask the person, is there anything else I missed? Is there anything else you want to say? Especially with, you know, hard news stories. Say, you know, the mayor got caught with, you know, in some type of scandal. It's, you know, you always give them a chance to come clean or, you know, just recollect exactly what they were trying to say or the message they were trying to get across. And before I leave, I ask my photographer, because we're always pretty much on the same page. And 90% of the time there's a question that he has that I didn't think of, you know. So, and that question is always a part of the story because it's like, wow, I totally forgot about that. Good, you know.
Yeah.
So make sure you have your questions, but listening and asking for others' opinions.
Yeah. What is one of the most memorable interviews that you've given?
My most memorable interview is with Savannah James, LeBron James' wife. It was my first time here at Channel 3, and within like the first week, I was interviewing Savannah James, but I was by myself. So I was trying to be so professional. I'm like, oh my God, I got to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. And she was so personable. She was down to earth, just like a regular person. You know, I set the camera up and we talked, and she even, you know, got so comfortable that she even started pretending that she was doing the interview herself, you know. So it's just stuff like that that I do get a lot of compliments on when I am out in the field, because people say, you know, you make me so comfortable to talk to you. I forget the camera's there, and that's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want. So that is the most memorable one in the Cleveland Cavaliers parade.
Oh yeah. That was so fun.
That was because I'm trying to work at the same time, but I'm trying to take it all in, and I'm looking around and trying to get as many pictures as I can.
Yeah.
But it's experiences like that in the RNC. It's just that moment, because the adrenaline, we're packing, and the Women's March. I went to Washington, D.C., and I went to Washington, D.C. twice. I covered the guns laws. So, you know, they were marching for their lives. That was one of the marches, and then the Women's March. So it's just history that, you know, when, you know, 10 years from now, I'm going to be able to say, you know, I was right there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what is your advice for young journalists?
So my advice for young journalists pretty much is just to always be yourself. and trust your gut. Your gut will never steer you wrong. You know, your heart is, of course, going to tell you different things. Your mind is going to tell you different things because you already heard and you did your research, but your gut feeling. If you say, I'm doing this interview and, you know, you're going and a mom just lost her son and you're walking up to her and you just get this turn around, talk to someone else. You know, those feelings are what make you an amazing journalist, because I go off of those feelings, and when I don't, I regret it every single time. So I always say just trust your gut, do your research, get as much, you know, read, and watch the news, other stations, not just your favorite station. Watch and just, you know, learn from other journalists and always be yourself. Once you become in your own, you know, I remember when I first started off in this business, I was just trying to grab so many different personalities to make it my own, but I was forgetting who I was. So I'm Jasmine Monroe, you know, so it's not, I'm not going to be able to turn that on and see someone else performing like Jasmine Monroe. Only you could be yourself. So that's it. Just be yourself and trust your gut. When you walk inside of a room and you're the youngest journalist in there, or you're a woman, you walk in with your confidence, have confidence. I don't care if you are selling a piece of paper. Be confident with that paper. Be aware of what's going on around you. Know what the conversation is in the room before you bring up this piece of paper, for instance. And take pride in whatever you're doing. This is what I'm doing, this is what I represent, and this is why you should believe in this. And if you wear your cap, you'll never go wrong.